Hello viewers, I'm your host Shivangi Mishra with another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. India and Kuwait have long enjoyed a rich, enduring relationship characterized by strong trade, cultural exchanges and mutual respect. Prime Minister Modi's recent visit to Kuwait marks a new phase in their strategic partnership, focusing on energy cooperation and joint investment opportunities. From exploring new avenues for bilateral trade to strengthening defense collaborations, both nations are committed to building a prosperous future. Take a look.
India and Kuwait have long shared a rich and enduring relationship, one built on mutual respect and cooperation across multiple sectors. This historic bond, which has evolved over the years, has flourished with strong trade and cultural exchanges, both of which play a crucial role in reinforcing their friendship. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit to Kuwait marked a landmark in bilateral relations, heralding the transition of this partnership into a strategic phase. A key highlight of the visit was PM Modi's prestigious role as the guest of honor at the opening ceremony of the 26th Arabian Gulf Cup, an invitation extended by the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Meshal Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah. The event was a testament to the deepening ties between the two nations, underscoring India's growing influence in the region. The Emir honored PM Modi by conferring upon him Kuwait's highest civilian distinction, the Order of Mubarak Al Kabir, a prestigious recognition of his leadership and the strengthening of ties between the two nations. During their talks, the two leaders explored a broad spectrum of issues, from regional security to global matters, underscoring the depth of their shared interests. India and Kuwait discussed investment opportunities with India's fast-growing economy and Kuwait's investment capacity as key focus points.
India is among the top trading partners of Kuwait. For us, Kuwait is the sixth largest import source of crude oil. For Kuwait, food products from India are required to meet their food security. You are seeing increase in bilateral trade in terms of our exports. The first time we touched $2 billion last year, and within that you see a lot of make in India products. We are seeing some investment from Kuwaiti companies in India, including from the Sovereign Wealth Fund Kuwait Investment Authority. Similarly, back here, a lot of Indian companies are now active in execution of large-scale infrastructure projects in Kuwait, and that is in line with the vision of Kuwait Vision 2035.
India and Kuwait discussed deepening energy cooperation, shifting from a buyer-seller model to a comprehensive partnership in oil, gas, and renewable energy. They also welcomed signing of MOU to enhance defense ties, including joint exercises and defense equipment development. Both nations condemned terrorism and emphasized disrupting financing networks. Moreover, during his visit, PM Modi also met President of the Kuwait Heritage Society, Fahad Ghazi Abdullah Jalil, praising his efforts to preserve rare manuscripts and artifacts that strengthen the historical and cultural ties between India and Kuwait. In turn, Al Abdul Jalil also reflected on the enduring friendship between the two countries.
We discussed many aspects about the strong and long relationship between Kuwait and India. It's 250 years of the partnership between Kuwait and India. The first ship traveled to India at that time was in 1780. So it's a very, very, very long period of partnership between the two countries.
During the high-level meet, the Kuwaiti side welcomed India's efforts to foster a conducive environment for foreign investments and expressed interest in sectors like technology, tourism, healthcare, food security, and logistics. This aligns with the significant presence of the Indian community, approximately 1 million strong, which is the highest expatriate group in Kuwait and plays a key role in driving economic activity, making India an important partner for investment and collaboration across these sectors. The Indian business community has made a mark in retail and distributorship, with long-standing family-owned businesses contributing to the availability of Indian products. This collaboration of people, culture and commerce reflects a relationship that is poised to grow even stronger in the years ahead, reaffirming the enduring friendship and shared vision for a prosperous future between India and Kuwait.
The death of prominent Baloch activist Karima Baloch 4 years ago had raised widespread suspicions of a targeted assassination orchestrated by the Pakistani state. Renowned for her outspoken stance against enforced disappearances and military brutality, Karima had become a powerful symbol of resistance for Baloch rights. Fleeing to Canada after facing constant threats, her tragic death in 2020 remains shrouded in mystery. On the 4th anniversary of her death, the Baloch Yagjati Committee released a poignant new documentary that not only honors Karima's legacy but also amplifies the continuing fight for justice and accountability. A report.
Brave Baloch Women, a new documentary from the Baloch Yagjati Committee, now available on YouTube, highlights the untold stories of Baloch women who have fought for justice and equality in Pakistan. These women have not only challenged oppressive norms but have become the vanguard of social and political movements in Balochistan and beyond. On the 4th death anniversary of human rights activist Karima Baloch, the Baloch advocacy group BYC released the documentary on its official YouTube channel. Karima Baloch, who was the first female chairperson of the Baloch Students' Organization, fled Pakistan in 2015 and sought refuge in Canada after facing threats to her life for speaking out against enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings by the Pakistani military. On December 22, 2020, her body was found submerged in Toronto's waterfront under suspicious circumstances. Her family, as well as numerous politicians and activists, including the Baloch Yagjati Committee, had claimed that she was murdered by the Pakistani state. Despite Canadian authorities ruling her death as non-criminal, her passing had sparked significant concerns and demands for further investigation.
What we believe is that definitely something was missed in that investigation. Now, obviously, it was a matter where authorities of Canada, they have, according to them, they have completed their investigation. But again, as a person of an occupied land, living in a foreign country, as a refugee, I know myself, and there are many countless people like me who are always living in a constant threat that something can happen. And it is not just the Canada where a Baloch activist, a Baloch leader, and one of the most prominent Baloch person alive at that time was targeted. Karima Baloch was not just another Baloch activist. She was one of the most famous, renowned, most respected, undisputed Baloch leader.
There was suspicion surrounding the circumstances of Karima's death, as she had received threats prior to her death. Protests demanding a thorough investigation into Karima's death took place both in Balochistan and Canada. Various ethnic groups, including Baloch, Pashtun and Sindhi minorities, issued statements in support of the call for justice. Despite these concerns, Canadian authorities concluded that there was no evidence of foul play and deemed the death non-criminal. The situation surrounding Baloch's death raised alarm, especially given the context of her activism and the threats she had received and her outspoken criticism of the Pakistani government.
A strong woman, a strong lady like herself, who faced many threats by the Pakistani state, whose family members were abducted, tortured, killed, just to keep her away from, leading the Baloch national movement. But she has never stopped. She has never, changed her ideas, or she has never shown a sign of depression from those brutal, actions of Pakistani state. But she was always very strong, a strong person who faced those brutalities with a strong commitment, a strong belief, and a strong resolve that I know what my goal is and I know how to achieve that goal.
Karima Baloch's tragic death serves as a stark reminder of the dangers faced by those who speak out against oppression. The unanswered questions surrounding her demise have fueled suspicions of a targeted assassination orchestrated by the Pakistani state. Karima's voice for Baloch rights, her relentless fight for justice, and her vocal criticism of human rights violations by the Pakistani military made her a threat to those in power. The Pakistani government's continued denial of any involvement in her death only reinforces the deep-rooted political repression that activists like Karima face. Her death remains a symbol of the broader struggle against state-sponsored violence and the silencing of dissent.
Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
Former Indian Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh passed away at the age of 92 in New Delhi. Singh, one of India's longest-serving prime ministers, was widely regarded as the architect of key economic forums that liberalized the nation's economy. He served as Prime Minister from 2004 to 2014 and held the position of Finance Minister prior to that. Singh had been hospitalized in Delhi after his health deteriorated. Tributes poured in from across the nation, including from current Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who expressed his grief on social media, stating, "India mourns the loss of one of its most distinguished leaders. Dr. Manmohan Singh was the first Indian leader since Jawaharlal Nehru to be re-elected after completing a full first term, and he was also the first Sikh to hold the position of Prime Minister." A bombardment by Pakistani military aircraft in Afghanistan's eastern Paktika province resulted in at least 46 deaths, the majority of whom were women and children, according to the Afghan Taliban. The airstrikes also left several others injured at 4 separate locations in the region, as reported by Deputy Spokesperson Hamdullah Fitrat. In response, Afghanistan's Foreign Office summoned Pakistan's head of mission in Kabul to deliver a formal protest note condemning the attack as a violation of international principles and act of aggression. The Afghan government warned that such actions would not go unanswered. On December 26, Japan Airlines announced that it had been targeted by a cyber attack, which resulted in delays for both domestic and international flights. The airline confirmed that the attack affected both its internal and external systems. To mitigate the issue, Japan Airlines temporarily shut down a router, causing system malfunctions, and suspended ticket sales for flights scheduled for Thursday. However, Japan's other major airline, ANA, reported no signs of a similar attack on its systems. Earlier this week, US carrier American Airlines also experienced disruptions, briefly grounding all flights for an hour on Christmas Eve due to a technical glitch involving its network hardware, affecting thousands of travelers. Christmas in India was celebrated with great enthusiasm, blending traditional Christian customs with local cultural practices. It was marked by church services, prayers, and carol singing. People decorated their homes with Christmas trees, stars, and lights. Festive meals were shared among family and friends. In states like Kerala, Goa, and Tamil Nadu, Christmas was a major holiday, while in urban areas, malls and markets were decorated to attract shoppers. Gifts were exchanged and people participated in community events. The celebrations reflected India's diverse and inclusive approach to holidays.
Moving on. Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan is facing a growing crisis as deforestation surges due to increased wood cutting for warmth during harsh winters. This practice not only accelerates climate change but also heightens the risk of landslides and environmental degradation. Additionally, the burning of wood and plastic, particularly in winter, has led to dangerous smog, severely impacting air quality and causing a rise in respiratory illnesses like asthma. A report.
In Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, the cutting of wood is on the rise as people look for ways to stay warm during the harsh winters. Unfortunately, this practice is leading to deforestation, which is further exacerbating climate change in the region. As the environment changes, a variety of diseases are emerging, highlighting the urgent need for government intervention to address this issue.
देखें, गिलगित बल्तिस्तान एक पहाड़ी और सर्द इलाका है जहाँ पर लोग गर्म होने के लिए लकड़ काटते हैं और उसकी हीटिंग से जो है ना वो अपने आप को गर्म रखते हैं और इसी वजह से गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के जो जंगलात हैं वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा कटाई में इस्तेमाल होते हैं और डिफॉरेस्टेशन में इजाफा भी हो रहा है, जो कि मौसमियाती तब्दीलियों के असरात भी हमें देखने को मिलते हैं। ग्लेशियर्स फट रहे हैं और सर्दी और गर्मी में भी जो है ना गिर्द मुतवक्किल जो है ना इजाफा और कमी पाई जाती हो और ये डिफॉरेस्टेशन एक बहुत बड़ा मसला है जिसके ऊपर काबू पाना वक्त की अहम ज़रूरत है।
The ongoing deforestation in the region is not only affecting the climate but also causing serious environmental risks. The cutting down of forests increases the risk of landslides, which can lead to further damage to the land and surrounding communities.
जंगलात की कटाई से एक तो ज़मीन सरकने का जो ख़तरा है वो भी जो है मसला आ जाता है। जब जंगलात आपके महफूज रहेगा उससे जंगली हयात के लिए भी फ़ायदा है, हमारे जो है ज़मीनी कटाव के लिए भी ये फ़ायदा है। अगर जब आप इसको काटेंगे इसके शदीद नुकसानात है और माहौल के हवाले से भी माहौल की बेहतरी के लिए जंगलात का होना ज़रूरी है। जब इसकी कटाई होगी तो माहौल भी जो है ख़राब हो जाएगा।
Another alarming concern in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan is the smog caused by the burning of wood and plastic tires during the winter months. The poor air quality is negatively affecting the health of the local population, leading to an increase in respiratory illness like asthma.
अगर इस तरह की कोई चीज़ बंदा चला रहा होता है जिसमें लकड़ी के अलावा जो टायर हैं, प्लास्टिक है या प्लास्टिक से रिलेटेड चीज़ें हैं, तो उनसे न सिर्फ उनकी हेल्थ ख़राब होती है बल्कि जो आउटडोर जो एयर क्वालिटी है वो भी मुतासर होती है। इंडोर में ख़ास कर जो रिस्पायरेटरी इलनेस है, सांस की बीमारियां हैं, दमा है या आई इरिटेशन है वो बहुत ज़्यादा हैं।
As deforestation, pollution and health concerns continue to worsen in POGB, local residents and environmental experts are calling for urgent measures from the government to address these issues. Failure to take action could lead to more severe environmental and health crises in the future.
As millions of devotees prepare for the Mahakumbh Mela, the world's largest religious gathering, Prayagraj is transforming into a vibrant hub of spiritual devotion and logistical marvel. With the festival set to begin on January 13th, organizers are working tirelessly to ensure the smooth arrival of millions, constructing vast accommodations, pontoon bridges and facilities. The Indian government has invested heavily in transportation, expanding the Prayagraj airport and increasing train services to manage the influx. Take a look.
Drone footage captured in India shows Hindu ascetics leading the Peshwai procession in Prayagraj, marking the beginning of preparations for one of the world's largest religious gatherings. The Kumbh Mela, a major Hindu festival held in 4 cities across India, Nasik, Ujjain, Haridwar and Prayagraj, attracts millions of devotees. This year, Prayagraj, India's holy city, will host the Mahakumbh Mela, which occurs once every 12 years. This special occasion is expected to draw millions of people. In anticipation of the massive influx of pilgrims, organizers have set up temporary pontoon bridges and vast kitchens. Massive tents and facilities are being constructed to accommodate the visitors, transforming the banks of the Ganga into a temporary city as seen in the drone footage.
आज हमारे श्री शंभू पंचदशनाम आवाहन अखाड़े की पेशवाई है। अखाड़े से मेला परिसर छावनी की ओर प्रस्थान किया है। सभी लोग छावनी में पहुंचेंगे और आज से महाकुंभ का आगाज हो जाएगा।
The Mahakumbh Mela, which is set to begin on January 13 and run through February 26, will be a monumental logistical undertaking. To manage the surge in visitors, the Indian government has invested heavily in expanding the Prayagraj airport to ensure smoother air travel for the millions expected. Additionally, Indian Railways will run hundreds of special trains to transport pilgrims from across the country to Prayagraj, ensuring a seamless journey for those travelling by train to this once-in-a-lifetime spiritual event.
सारी चीजें बेहतर तरीके से मॉनिटर की जा सके, इसके लिए हम लोगों ने डिफरेंट स्टेशंस पे और उन सब का सेंट्रलाइज करते हुए एक प्रयागराज जंक्शन पे एक कंट्रोल टावर की स्थापना की है, जहां पे हमारे विभिन्न विभागों के कर्मचारी अधिकारी उपस्थित रहेंगे। वो सतत निगरानी 24 आवर्स उसकी वर्किंग रहेगी। वो सतत निगरानी रखेंगे आने वाले लोगों के पैटर्न पे, उसी हिसाब से ट्रेनों की प्लानिंग की जाएगी।
As the world's largest religious gathering draws near, the spirit of devotion and preparation in Prayagraj is palpable. Every effort is being made to welcome the millions of pilgrims expected to attend the Mahakumbh Mela, a momentous event that is not only a test of infrastructure but also a testament to the power of faith.
Prayagraj transforms into a divine hub for millions of pilgrims. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Goodbye and take care.